Hello and welcome back to the Arcane Forge. My name's Josh, and today we are embarking on day 16, I believe it is, of the Drawtober challenge, an illustration challenge where I try and draw every single day throughout the month of October using the randomly generated prompt word list that you can see on screen here. I'm going to be using non-digital means to accomplish all of these drawings, and you are very, very welcome to illustrate alongside me. You can use your own prompt list, or you can use the one that I provided here. And if you do, make sure to tag me on Instagram, or however you want to get in contact with me. So hopefully I can share some of your artwork with the rest of the community. I had a lot of fun with today's illustration. I decided to go for the idea of a potion shop, a potion salesman who is trying to maximize profits while screwing over his clients by having a team of imps dilute a bunch of extra strength health potions, making them far weaker, but getting a lot more potions for the same overhead cost for his business. We have this character being confronted by a noble adventurer, a half-orc here, who's brandishing one of these sort of orange squash-style watered-down potions, outraged that their perhaps mana or health didn't sort of come back, that didn't work quite as well. I can only imagine what sort of horrific effects this would have. But it definitely seems like the kind of character that would feature well in my campaign. I have an undercity within the capital city that my adventures tend to take place in, whereas the surface world, the surface city of Sanctivium is this kind of Victorian metropolis filled with steampunk technology, patrolled by the heavily armoured constabulary. There is a criminal underground which operates in what I suppose would be almost like a sewer system beneath the city. In my campaign, I have... it's kind of based on a sort of Victorian London, so I have a river running centrally throughout my city, and then there is a network of tunnels which are built underneath, separate from the sewer system, because just like London, at some point the underground system was going to be, an underground rail system was going to be implemented, but technology moved on a little bit too fast, and an overhead rail system was introduced instead. Instead of carriages or cars, taxi services and the very wealthy have access to vehicles called perambulators, which are almost like carriages that have been retrofitted to have large mechanical wheels, rings that, almost like a penny farthing I suppose, are much, much larger than the carriage. They're built onto the sides of these things, and these rings bend outwards or inwards depending on what this vehicle is trying to accomplish. The rings operate, I suppose, a bit like tank tracks. They're so large that they encompass and are able to connect to the ground level, but also go overhead of these vehicles. And their circumference basically is several feet wider than the actual vehicle itself. The rings being bend outward at the top when used for ground travel, but can connect at the top, bending the other direction to connect to the overhead rail system, which is all magically electrified, allowing people to traverse over the top of this centralized river and get to much higher parts of the metropolis, if, for example, they are trying to get to a zeppelin to travel across the world. There are huge, huge towers throughout the city connecting all of these points. But that leaves the underground system, the once intended railroad system underneath the city, completely abandoned, and a criminal element has decided to basically set up shop throughout this entire massive network, which uses secret codes and passphrases to move from district to district underneath. And rather than being kind of Victorian, illegal magics are very easily able to flourish there. And so it's kind of weirdly, it's dirty, it's unsafe, it's filled with criminals that cannot be policed, but it was also quite technologically advanced, so there's a lot of magically induced neon signs and things like that. I kind of picture like the streets of Blade Runner almost, deep beneath the city. And where things cannot be policed, charlatans like the diluting potion vendor that we can see here thrive. This guy is definitely an NPC in my campaign. We can get all sorts of very, very interesting potions that may or may not have been watered down slightly, leading to very bizarre results. Always doing at least a little bit of what they intended to do, but also maybe some other stuff too. Maybe he's mixed a few potions together. Maybe he's mixed a few potions that have not sold very well in with some other ones. So you might get a full health potion, but it might also turn you into a frog. So who knows? But I love drawing this guy. I love the outrage on this half-orc's face. I love drawing the little imps. And in particular, I had a lot of fun with the shading around the legs here. I used a brush to shade the wrinkles of his clothing rather than using my brush pens. And I think it turned out really well. It's encouraging me to maybe, if I can be confident enough, try and use more brushes rather than brush pens to ink with in future. Because I really love this, the way this kind of came out. At least his legs kind of look like they would fit in sort of like the Walking Dead comics and things like that. So I'll maybe give it a go. If I can muster the confidence to get out of my comfort zone. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's illustration with the prompt word dilute. I hope you came up with something fun as well. I'm sorry if there were some weird background noises throughout this. I've mentioned this in a couple of videos, so I'll stop eventually, but I'm still moving into a new home. We're still working on a home, so there's going to be drilling and hammering and sawing going on. Myrtle will not stop making noises as well. So the audio quality is going to be a little bit weird, a little bit funny. There's going to be some stuff going on in the background. I'm going to try and cut as much of that out as I can, but I don't get to re-record these things, so we're just going to have to deal. But anyway, soon I'll be able to set up a nice recording booth and audio will restore to its normal level of quality. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed today, and I will look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for the prompt wriggle. Something that no doubt will feature some sort of eldritch abomination, as I am one to draw. So, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I hope you have a fantastic day with what's left of today for you. Bye!